This is just a quick tutorial and information on how to having to avoid relocate lost files when you're using your computer or your computer's hard drive for your main music storage and SERATO folder, but you're also using an external drive for a backup or contingency plan in case something happens to your computer. So the downside of doing it that way is if you have all your stuff on your SSD on your computer and you transfer the music and the SERATO folder to an external drive, and you try to plug that external drive into another computer to use, then SERATO will not find any of the songs, and then you end up having all orange files and said cannot be found. The reason for that is because SERATO is looking for it at different addresses. So I have an external drive plugged in here, and if you look at the bottom, it starts off as DJ Richness. Now this is where SERATO will be looking for this external drive and anything else that follows it. But if you were put it on your computer, it will be starting to look for it from under users, your name, music, SERATO, etc., etc. So it's two different paths or location. And that's the reason why you will have to do relocate lost files. And again, the bigger disadvantage for that is having to spend hours to relocate lost files every time you update your backup drives. So what I did in the past is that I had multiple external drives. So let's say I use drive A for my normal DJing and backing up my files, creating crates and all that stuff. I used A, but B, sorry, was for my backup. So now whenever I transfer everything from external A to external B, I could have used B into another computer or in the same computer easily, and it would recognize without having to relocate. Now, as you guys can know, the disadvantage of using external is it can drop out sometimes. So mine was unplugged on maybe more than one occasion. I've had the issue where I accidentally unplugged my drive while playing, which is not a good thing at all. So I think I found a solution, and I'll go through this solution with you that I've found, where you can have basically what I'm doing here is keeping all the music on my computer and trying to tell it that it's working from an external drive. So when I back up all that information from my computer on the backup drive, my external drives, I do not have to relocate anything. All right? So let me go through the steps of how this is done. So step one, create a folder on your, I have created this one called DJ Richness. You can add it anywhere, under My Music, on the desktop, doesn't matter. That's step one. Step two, insert a drive, appropriate drive, meaning if you have a 500 gig drive, do not try to do this with a drive that already has 475 gigs already used up with music. So for example, this drive here is a 1 terabyte drive and it's about half full. Basically, I have room for expansion. Also, this is a 1 terabyte drive. Remember, everything from this drive, because I'm saving it as a disk image to my computer, will also need space on my computer. So when I say appropriate, this is 1 terabyte for the external, but my SSD on this computer is 2 terabytes. Right? So basically what I'm kind of doing is saving this entire stuff to my drive, so I need that space for it. All right? So again, those are the two things, key things in selecting what drive to put on there. So that's step number what? Step number 2. Step number 3, open disk utility. So if you don't know how to do that, you can click on this little magnifying glass and just start typing it in, and there it is. As you can see, this is my external, and the external is 1 terabyte. Now, procedure continues where I want to create a disk image. Remember, this DJ Richness is the folder I created earlier. So what I'm going to do now is go to click on the external drive, DJ Richness. Then I go to File, New Image from DJ Richness. So basically it's taking this DJ Richness and making a copy of it. Now when you're in here, you would save it to this folder that you created earlier. Importantly, you would name it the same as your external. So my external here, not sure if you can see my mouse, my cursor. My external is DJ Richness, so I've named this here DJ Richness. Also very important, the format, you would want to click on here and make sure it's read write. I didn't encrypt mine, I'm not sure what that does, I'm not an expert. And then you hit save. Now once you hit save, it's basically gonna transfer all this information from your drive, all your music, and it's probably gonna take a while. Mine took about an hour and a half, and transfer it to its location on the computer. I'm not gonna do it because I've already done it, so I'm gonna hit cancel. Now when it's all done and you saved it to this folder, it's gonna look like this as a DMG file. And this is how you're gonna launch that second drive. So I don't want to have both of them open. Now again, this was my external that's plugged in. I'm gonna close that and then I'm gonna unmount it. So I'm gonna unmount this one. Again, I'm in disk utility. Now I'm gonna go to that folder that I created this, and it's a DMG file that gets created. Double click on that. And bam. So now it brought up all my music again, and all this is technically saved on my computer now. Right? This now has all my music. Now one thing I've noticed about this is it doesn't keep the view how I want it to be viewed. So I always have to go into view as list, because that's how I like to view my stuff. So now everything is in here. Now this is the DMG folder that I created, the image folder. And everything is in here as it was in this drive that I unmounted. Right? There you go. Everything's in there. So the way this would work is that this is the mounted, the disk image drive that I've created. I don't need to have this external drive with me. I can unplug that, but in this case, I just unmounted it for now. I can work from here, make changes in my SERATO, add files, but I would then need to copy everything that I'm doing. Let me mount this next drive again. I'm gonna mount it. So this here is the disk image, and this is, let me mount it, bam. This is the external. I'm gonna mount the external. So the way this would work is I'm working on my disk image, adding music, my SERATO is automatically being changed or updated. I would just copy my SERATO, put it over to my external, whatever files I've added and whichever folder I added it in, make sure it matches on this external. And when I use this external anywhere else or on the same computer, now the magic is I do not have to relocate lost files. And that for me was the main reason of wanting it being done this way. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, shoot me a message. Kind of a long, lengthy video, but I wanted to try to explain this. I'm not an expert at the stuff. I wanted to try to explain this as best as I can. Thank you. Peace out. Please like, subscribe, share to your friends. Thanks.